Hello, everybody. Welcome to the new moon. This is not a real place that I'm in, just a place I wish I was in. I hope you're doing well this new moon in Leo. It's coming up Thursday, the 24th, 3 p.m., 3:11 p.m. on the Eastern time zone. And as usual, we're going to take a look at some interesting transits, try to pinpoint the energy, all in the midst of Mercury retrograde, right? So maybe you're starting to see that happen already. I sure am, with computer tech issues, and also just a level of frustration of things not flowing so smoothly. And Mars is in Virgo, so it's adding extra to that, because Mars in Virgo is very mercurial. Mercury rules Virgo. Mars in Virgo just wants to get it all done, get it all perfect. And in the midst of a Mercury retrograde, it's going to be a little frustrating to get things perfectly done when the planets are, sort of slowing us down. So I just want to say, before I keep going, I have a new service available. If some of you are on my newsletter already, you know, because I sent out my special new offer to my loyal 650. And if you would like to be part of my newsletter, just message me down below and I'll send you the link to sign up. I've switched platforms to something that I feel is more clean and uplifting than the one before. And I will share with you the offer is the new session that I'm giving is called Intuitive Advisor. And this is where, see, readings, you come and you might be completely lost and you want to see what I see. And we map out something at a time when there's a lot going on. Intuitive Advisor, though, is when you have a problem to solve. Maybe there's a big merger going on at work and you need to navigate a lot of things with your work, your timing, your projects, your team. Maybe it's your job searching. Maybe you're at an impasse or searching for a home, wanting to move or buy or rent. So, and it can be specific relationships too, that you're just breaking your head going round and round over the same thing with the same people. So Intuitive Advisor sessions are targeted on a specific thing that you want to overcome or solve. And they work with my intuition and yours. It's not, I will tell you what I see, I'll tell you what to do. It is, you tell me what's going on. I will guide you through intuitive processes based on what you have said to help you access your own deeper wisdom. And then I will mirror that, because I will still be seeing clairvoyantly what's going on. And I will share with you, or I will prompt the questions based on what I see and sense. And then we talk about hardcore. What are you ready to do about it? What's the most logical, best step? Help you figure out the starting place. It's not all or nothing. One session is a quick fix. One decision gets us out of the woods. No, life isn't like that. Sometimes you're lucky it is, but a lot of time it's not. So we're going to look for what's the most logical, easy to integrate, but meaningful step you can take now in your current situation. So I'm excited about these because I like coaching and I like more action-oriented ways to work with people. I'm still available for the for my usual readings. Even though it's summer, give me a ring, message me. I'm here. All right, let's take a look now at the chart. Okie doke. So, as you can see, when this is done for Eastern time zone, it gives us a Scorpio rising, even though the new moon is in Leo, right up there beside the sun and Mercury. So why is this sharing? See, this is a Mercury retrograde thing when windows just don't disappear like they should. Maybe you're not seeing it, but I'm still seeing like black covering my chart. All right, so I'll make it a little smaller. Okay, now it's disappearing. Okay, good. So as you see, Sun, Moon, and Mercury all together up here in Leo at the top of the chart. So that's very strong, outgoing, bold, extroverted, passionate, dramatic, wanting attention, being maybe gutsy, courageous in the best of cases. Or it can just be literally me, can't stop talking, can't stop sharing about myself, can't stop showing off. Grandstanding is another thing with Leo in the shadow side. You know, attention for attention's sake, wanting to be some sort of, star or rock star or diva, whether it's earned or not. But the best side of Leo is the gracious king or queen, the leader, the muse. So hopefully you're feeling that instead. But as you see, it doesn't square the ascendant in Scorpio, but still by sign, it's squaring. We have Scorpio rising, so, you might be only shining with close friends or on a specific project or with people at work. Or you might, since it's the 9th house, be shining in your studies or your trainings or on your trips. But Scorpio rising is like not really, it's going against the wanting attention and wanting spotlight. It wants to be incognito, please. So you have to find ways to shine that are not so obvious on the outside to everyone. Although, as I said, it doesn't make a direct square, so it's not it's not as bad a conflict, but it is a bit conflicted. So let's look at where the energy is working well. So as I mentioned, Uranus has moved into Gemini, and that gives us, crazy level of multitasking, networking, socializing, starting 10 things at once, launching, 3 side gigs at once, having 4 computer screens open and taking phone calls. Like, it's over the top. But Uranus is going to come and go like a lightning bolt. So there could be crickets because it's Gemini. 7 offers for dinner one week, crickets the next. Brainstorming, feel great about your work or your next meeting or your next thing. No one follows up on it the next week. That's Uranus. So this is going to be a pretty zany transit with Uranus in Gemini for the next 7 years. We're only at the beginning, so we haven't seen what's that going to do yet. But if any of you have planets right at 0 degrees Libra, 0 degrees Sagittarius, 0 degrees Aquarius, if you're a Gemini right at the beginning, and even if you've got like a square, so if you've got 0 degrees Virgo or 0 degrees Pisces, this is activating you right now, and you might see what it's going to bring. And it can bring a lot of excitement and light bulb moments and people coming in, people coming out, opportunities come and go. You've got to act and say yes to things you want or don't want quickly under this, because it can flash, turn around, and the next moment be gone. Because Uranus in this chart is in the 7th house of relationships, and so is Venus in Gemini in the 7th house. oh boy, are we going to be meeting a lot of people potentially, right? If you want to be out there, the networking is off the maps, the dating is off the maps, the talking and the wondering and the overanalyzing and the confusion and the flirting and the, because Gemini in the 7th is not so stable. It's just going to bring in a lot of opportunities and meetups and people and some gossip, some lots of flirting. Venus there, lots of flirting. Now you can use that to your advantage, or you can be taken advantage of because you're hoping for something more solid. But these are very light, playful, intellectual, not very deep planets. They're just there to stir the pot, make a spark, and it'll work or it doesn't, or it goes. So the moon and sun are making good aspects to Uranus right now. So it could be sort of fun to accept or throw out last minute invites or say yes to meeting somebody you never thought you'd meet before. Have conversations about things you never thought you would, because it's in the 9th house there, the learning of traveling. If you have a last minute invite to go somewhere you've never been, then go. This could be a really fun if you just take it as, preliminary, introductory, let's just see. We're not asking for, is it going to last? We're just like being stimulated and introduced. Now, Sun, Moon are also making a nice aspect down here to our recent Saturn, Neptune in Aries, which we talked about last time. So, I mean, when fire trines fire, you've got a lot of action going on and a lot of passion. Even though Saturn's in the mix, Neptune's in the mix. Let me just see though, even though those trine. Like, we need to focus on that fixed sense of Leo in this case, meaning Leo knows how to be very generous and very loyal. And even though they're passionate and, exuberant and have a lot to say, they still want to deep down know, like, that there's some sense of stability or a core of trust or reliability in the people and the projects around them. They still think of Leo as like holding the home fire, there's a bonfire at the cabin, and yeah, the fire's lively and people might be singing and dancing and drumming around it, but it's still like they're still on the land, on the cottage. And it's not like Sag, where it's like wanting to move and fly everywhere and doesn't have a groundedness to it or a structure to it. And Saturn and Neptune in Aries, I mean, if it were other planets in Aries, yeah, maybe again some home fire, some staying power, but Aries is too adventurous to be to want to be held down and be stable. And it's Saturn and Neptune together, so it's a bit of, like we said, a bit of a confusing time about who am I and who is everybody, and what does that even look like to really truly be me, and putting people on either having difficulty affirming yourself and putting other people on pedestals, whether they deserve it or not. So because of that, even though these go well together, I'm still going to err on the side of come back to your Leo side. No one's going to dominate you. You're strong and you're holding the home fire. That means you could be holding the plans, the project, that you could be hosting. You sort of create and sustain the rules of what you want to see happen right now. These Saturn, Neptune, and Aries can bring in some interesting things, interesting people. Could be more potentially lasting bonds, but again, with Neptune there, I just still always have a question mark about how stable or how clearly are these people presenting themselves. So fall back on that strong Leo side. So what is opposing is a bit difficult right now. You see, we've got an oppositional line towards Pluto. Sun moon opposite Pluto is sort of nasty. Yeah. So despite all of the Leo effervescence, we've got Pluto and Aquarius saying, why are you so special? And Leo's all hurt and offended. Well, come on, we're all special. So am I, so are you. Pluto and Aquarius is like, doesn't matter. Why are you trying so hard? You know, just relax. Why do you have to ask for so much attention? Pluto opposite the sun moon could be power trips and power struggles with people. It might be feeling a bit difficult to meet your needs. And that Leo moon has strong needs, again, of love, loyalty, respect, you know, being able to do and show its passions to the world, being able to speak in front of people, whatever have you, lead a project, or, you know, they want to put a lot of work in and give their all, but they also want appreciation for it. And Pluto and Aquarius is like, almost like, you know, a heckler at the show, and not always a very nice one. So Pluto opposite sun moon. Yeah, if you're trying to shine right now or stand out, expect some pushback. I mean, if you're ready for it, it doesn't matter. Like we said, Venus and Uranus are in Gemini, and people are going to come in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out all the time. So maybe you don't have to worry so much about that one power struggle. Pluto is also accenting and helping out Saturn and Neptune. Just slightly, but still, it's a sextile. So to me, that gives me a vibe of Pluto, Saturn, and Neptune together sort of is like this whole, just detach from everything, just like, you know, just disengage, try not to care so much. Just blend, you know, don't ask for so much for yourself. And maybe it's a cultural trend, but I don't really like that, because Saturn and Aries and Chiron's still there. We need to be finding who we are and have a solid sense of self, not abandoning ourselves. Now, Pluto's also helping out Uranus. So again, it's sort of like dispersing, having almost everything just sort of be awash or all around you, like just a flood and flurry of people, things, news, information, stuff to do, just so much you can't keep up. And again, that sort of dissolves people's attention span and ability to connect and bond and listen, and makes it harder to build deeper relationships. It's more transpersonal. So again, these are outer cultural trends of like overwhelm and like disengagement and numbing out. And Sun, Moon, and Mercury and Leo are all saying, no, I'm here. Come on. Come on over. I'm having a gathering. You know, I'll host, I'll cook. Bring your friends. Yeah, bring your weird friends. I don't care. So the strength is in the Leo planets. They're the most clear in who they are. Are they a little over the top maybe sometimes, but they're clear who they are. And that's a helpful thing in this trend. Now, but we're also just going to talk briefly about Mars because I brought it up earlier. So Mars and the South Node together on this new moon, pretty heavy duty in Virgo. Now, that is the ultimate perfectionist energy, especially with South Node. It's like, oh, I'm supposed to fix everything. I'm supposed to fix everyone. I'm supposed to have everything in perfect order. Everything should be pure. Pure is a very good guiding word for Virgo. Pure means unadulterated, uninfluenced, clean, well named precisely, untainted by anything. Perfection, perfect. So we might be overcoming or dealing with our inner perfectionist at this moment. And that, ironically, is also at a good aspect to Uranus and Gemini. So what the heck does that give as an energy? Well, Uranus and Gemini is going to just bring in so many things that Mars and Virgo is either going to go, it's like, imagine somebody like a cartoon and they've got this huge closet full of stuff and they're just facing the closet, just throwing stuff. Now, Mars and Virgo is either going to go catch, caught it, put it there. This goes there, this goes there, this goes there. Or if it's too much, it's just going to pile. You're just going to like a cartoon, a pile of stuff, and it buries the person. That's a very good analogy now that I'm thinking about it for that energy. That's perfect. So Uranus and Gemini is going to throw more details and more people and more things and more, you've got to get this done and more, I want and more. Oh, this is fun. Let's buy that. And oh, let's call these 5 people. Oh, yes. And keep up with that. And Mars and South Node in Virgo is going to try its damnedest to do it all perfectly and not drop the ball or not let go or not say, oh, no, I can't, or, oh, this is too much, or stop, please. It's just going to try to do it. And with Mercury retrograde, slowing things down. Like I said, a lot of potential frustration for this new moon. And Mars South Node is obviously, it's opposite Saturn and Neptune in Aries. Mars opposite Saturn, Neptune is always going to be like, you can't get what you want. Mars wants it. Saturn says, no, not now. No, not like that. No. And Neptune clouds it over like, ooh, Mars and Neptune, ooh. So maybe you have this grand ideal way that, oh, it's just this could just be perfect if it would all work out this way. And Mars and Virgo is just going to have every detail. Like if that happens and they do it that by then, oh, then this would be the perfect thing. Oh my God. And then it just takes off in its flight of fancy, which Neptune might not be so realistic, even if Mars and Virgo has all the details down for this fantasy to happen. So we do have to be careful again of like, how much is thrown at you? How much are you trying to do at once here? Can you cope? Can you handle all the people coming at you, all the requests, all the new ideas, all the extra work, all the just extra crazy news being thrown at us to process? I mean, it's just relentless out there, isn't it? Isn't it? And just adding to your own life, let alone internal things that could be going on top of it all. So, wow. Right? So I would say this new moon is really about trying to hold the fort, stay grounded with what you already know and feel strong with, and open yourself to new, but recognize when you're getting frustrated and when you're getting flooded. Yeah. All right, let's take a look now at the tarot for this new moon. All right, what else could be coming up for us this new moon? So we got the King of Wands, which is, very Leo card. Talking about, your boldness and your will to get things done. So some of you might be feeling extra strong-willed than usual, and others you might be struggling to find your motivation. But some of you are going to be feeling extremely strong to just dash in and do more than you've done in a while. Then we've got the Four of Pentacles, which is power. And it's like you're the King of Wands and the Four of, wow. It's like a very strong individual trying to build something and consolidate something, rebuild a structure, almost like if it's an architect building, a brand new tower, securing the foundation and the building structure. It's ambitious. And then we've got the Two of Swords, which is peace. Interesting. Huh. Well, if you're building something ambitious or you're trying to start doing something new that requires a lot of fortitude and confidence and, being bold and extroverted to get it done, you're going to need also to have good harmonious relationships with others and maybe partnerships. So the Two of Swords could certainly be partnerships. And maybe just gentle, helpful advice, friendly people to hire, friends that give you good support. It's not official support. It's coming from the heart. It's coming from goodwill. So that's interesting. It sort of gives me a feeling of like, if you're working really hard towards something, there's going to be some kindness comes your way. And also for you to be aware of being kind along your bold, ambitious plans. So let's take a look for the signs, what this new moon's going to bring. What do you need to focus on for the new moon? What's your, we've talked about being overwhelmed, being flooded, being perfectionist, tackling big jobs, opening your doors to new people and possibilities, but keeping a light attitude about it. So where is your focus for this new moon? Aries. Hold the Venus and Aries card. Four of Wands. This feels to me like you need to just focus on yourself and just a strong sense of who am I? Who am I amongst my circle, my friends, my family? That's it. Don't worry about everybody else. Don't worry about passing strangers or trolls online or whatever have you, or people in your city or down your block or neighbors or people don't even know you. Don't even worry about them. It's like focus on, I know who I am when I'm with my family and my friends. Who is that person? Who am I? What are your strongest traits? Maybe ask them. Taurus, what do you focus on? We've got the Eight of Cups, so you're feeling a little down in the dumps, maybe? Well, we are in Leo after all. It's not your greatest sign. So, yeah, I feel like for Taurus, you're just overcoming some depression or bleh, or inertia, maybe feeling lazy or stuck. And it's not really because you're lazy or stuck, you're not. But there's deep emotional things that need to be cleared, or maybe physical stuff needs to be cleared, because there's a reason for the stagnation feeling. And usually we get stagnant when we've been holding on and not letting go and not letting life just change for too long, you know? And it needs to be cleaned up and shaken up a little bit for you. All right, Geminis, what can you look forward to for this new moon? So that's nice. You've got the Six of Cups. So for you, lucky you, you can just enjoy the Venus and Uranus there. It's like great times. Pleasure, sensuality card. Travel by sea or being by the water. You know, good food, good wine, good friends, going out, good music. Yeah. For you, this new moon is like, just go have some fun, enjoy these planets in your sign, ramping everything up for you. I think you're going to enjoy yourself. All right, Cancers, what can you look forward to for this new moon? Another Aries card, Sun in Aries. Virtue. Well, this again is another sort of message about who are you, what is your true self, but virtue is more in terms of like your spiritual side. Are you connecting enough with your spiritual side lately? You may need to go back to, that can be anything, you know. When I have had a hiatus, or it's been hard to connect with my spiritual practices, because yes, it does happen to me, even though I pretty much just live by it for so many years. But there's times when life asks me to be out of my head and in my physical reality a little bit more. And so, yeah, when I have to focus on my diet or my health or my apartment or stuff that requires, or finances where I just can't be in, I don't feel as connected sometimes. I'll go back to my smudging rituals. I'll go back to my Reiki, self Reiki. I'll go back to reading certain things that remind me who I am, and meditating more. Those are mine, but you need to go back to yours right now. There's a need to just spiritually recenter. Leos, what is your new moon about? You've got the Empress card, so the mother card, the mothery goddess kind of card. So, yeah, I get the same kind of feeling of like, it's like the image of you having a dinner party or a gathering, and maybe it's just intimate friends, family, people you trust. Maybe a couple of people that are there that you bring or take under your wing, but I get a feeling of like more consolidating consolidating your own circle, like really define who is my inner circle, and really ask yourself, well, how can I nurture that inner circle a bit better? If you've been feeling a bit too busy or scattered, maybe there's things you can do to just show a little more appreciation and love towards those people that are your really your people, your tribe. All right, Virgos, what is your new moon looking like? Oh, 10 of Wands. Well, you're not having the greatest run. Mars in your sign is probably creating some frustration or aches and pains or delays or conflicts that you didn't want. But Saturn and Sag with oppression as your card means you're just way too hard on yourself. Like, stop it. Stop it. Stop beating yourself up. Stop analyzing yourself. It's too much. Mars is already at 21 degrees. It's almost gone. So you've been going through it. If people are born towards the Libra side, like mid-September onwards, you're feeling it more now. But yeah, you really need to lighten up on yourself. All right, Libras, what is your new moon? 5 of Cups. There's some sort of emotional disappointment you're working through. Could even feel like a sense of betrayal or just life betraying you in some way. If it's not an actual person, it could be multiple, or it could be an aspect of your life that you feel is not working out the way you wanted, and you feel depressed or disappointed or betrayed by it. And our lives can seem beautiful on the surface, and you can still feel like this. I think it's about, getting in touch with, well, what is that? What does the life you want look like? How far away are you from it? What steps could you take to bring you a little closer to it? Scorpios, what is your new moon message? Sorry, I'm just checking to see if someone messaged. I've invited 2 people out tonight. Nobody's. See, it's Mercury retrograde. A Uranus and Gemini is like, ooh, let's go out. Let's invite people. Let's see if they want to come. And then Mercury retrograde is like, they didn't get the memo. Oh, great. All this excitement, and it didn't. It's okay. So Scorpio, what is your message for the new moon? And you've got the witch. Art, the alchemy, temperance. You're juggling a bunch of things. That's for sure. You're trying to figure out the timing of a lot of things you have at play all at once. Yeah, it's feeling complex. And it's like you have to follow a very strict recipe right now. I don't know what those things are, but it could be anything from the time you have to be alone, to socialize, to be with your partner, to go to the gym, to your availability with people at work, or your friendships, or your self-care. There's a lot of things at play you're trying to juggle at once and trying to get the mix right. Mars and Virgo can sure help do that, as long as you're not being too perfect about it all, writing down your life as if it's a slot calendar. We need room to breathe in our lives, despite all we want to do. So, but you seem to be having a clear idea of where you're going with this all. But I get a feeling it's almost like you're trying to put too many ingredients in the mix. Sagittarius, your new moon message. Okay, you have the King of Swords. Somebody's coming into your life and is very strong-minded and has strong opinions. And they could be excellent for you if they're the right person and the right fit. They're very quick and very hands on deck, and ready to dive in and get things working. But if this is not your person, then it's going to be like, damn, who invited this guy? When's he gone? When's he done? Because he's intense. He's intense, but he knows what he's doing, or what he wants anyway. But yeah, you're going to want to get out of his way a little bit. And hopefully this is somebody that is just a perfect fit for what you need. Like, if you hire a contractor and he's just brilliant, it's like, great, we'll leave for 2 days. You get the kitchen done. And it's done, it's great. But if this is somebody that you're like, oh man, and it's like, I don't know, a manager or a customer or a neighbor that's just like, whoa, in your life, in your face, too much, wants something, talks all the time, then not so much great energy. All depends what he's there for. But he is breezing in, breezing out. This isn't forever. Alrighty, Capricorns, what is your new moon message? You've got the Emperor. You're dealing with authority. You're dealing with maybe grandparents or father, boss, government, red tape. Somebody who's stubborn about their will, their borders, their money, their procedures. They're stubborn, 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 stubborn. And it feels like you're up against this stubborn factor. And I'm not sure what you need right now from them. If you can wait something out versus push this stubborn person, all the better. If you cannot wait, then you're up against a hard rock kind of person or organization. You're going to have to relent and work the way they want. So it all depends on the timing of what you want done right now. Alrighty, Aquarius, what is your new moon message? And you've got the universe. Very nice. All right, well, you're wrapping up some sort of big chapter in your life. That means, more time to think, more time alone, more evaluation, more memories of the past, more should I have, or would I, could have, should I, or do I, do I call that person, or do I just let it go and it's over? Do I finish the project I started, or do I just donate it and see if someone else wants it? Like there's a million loose ends with the universe card that often come up, and you're slowly putting the pieces, together or dismantling them, but you're closing a chapter, and it can be overwhelming with the universe. There can be so many things and so many people and so many loose ends and so much stuff and so many dreams and all these things that you're coming back and revisiting. So I think it helps to write these things down, can help to work with a coach as well. And it's not crystal clear, one thing at a time will present itself, and you'll make a decision, and then it'll be like, oh God, that feels good. That's clear now. But it's many, many. Not something that happens overnight. And Pisces, what is your new moon message? And you've got the Ace of Cups, lovely. So for you, maybe love is in the air here. Love, romance. The love and the love can also it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be, friendship. It can be feeling much closer to family. It could be, little kids, nieces, nephews, grandchildren. It can be feeling, super cuddly with your dog. But there's this nice innocent love feeling in the air. So there's more bonding, or there's a fresh connection, or there's just more intimacy in your life. So that's a lovely message for you. All right, as I mentioned, I'm still open for readings, and I've got my intuitive advisor sessions. If any of this triggered something for you, especially with our Mars and Virgo time, my special, if you want my newsletter and you want the special, it's open until August 15th. It's a big discount, and for my intuitive advisor sessions. Otherwise, you let me know if you would like a reading. You can message me. All right. Have a good new moon.